That's 217-735-2317. SIU Medicine, forward for you.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Hart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning, and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The city of Clinton has added 2 more concerts for the Summer Concerts on the Square series. City Administrator Tony Harris says Friday will be the last regularly scheduled concert as Ghost Stank takes the stage at 7 p.m. He says this is a hard rock band of local young adults. The city has rescheduled Boogie Republic, the 70s funk band, onto August 28th due to rain. They have also added Owen Knapp, a Nashville country act, to the lineup for September 5th.
This Friday, starting at 7 o'clock, here on the Mr. Lincoln stage is Ghost Stank. It's a group of Clinton young adults that I believe just graduated high school, and they started their own band. They've only done one gig, so we gave them the opportunity to do their second one. So I hope that the town comes out and supports them, and we'll see what they've got. Yes, we have. We've rescheduled Boogie Republic, which got rained out last month. So that's going to be at 7:30, the last Friday of the month. And then on September the 5th, starting at 7 p.m., we have Owen Knapp with the Rusty Strings. So, so rescheduled that one for the end of the month. And then the new one, which is Owen is a Nashville act. He just joined a record label in Nashville, and he's done some work there in Nashville. So he's going to be coming all the way back here. He's from the central Illinois area. So we're bringing him back here to do this gig. So, yeah, we're excited about it.
Harris says the concerts this summer have been lots of fun. And while they are not adding any more this year, they will be planning for next summer around the end of this year.
It's been really good. You know, we talking to the commissioners and the Kenny Buchanan that's in charge of the streets. He suggested that we just close the square down when we have these concerts. So we've been doing that. And then, you know, when we here, I don't know, it was a few weeks ago we had one, and Voodoo Exiles, and it was a great turnout. The people were over on the closed street on the square and just having a good time. So it was really good to see. So we're excited about this. Again, we've had these before. This is new to me. We wanted to kind of get our feet wet this year and see how well they're attended, but they've been attended. So what we're trying very hard to have the band, and then also a food truck or some type of food on the square as well, along with other food places here, you know, off the square or on the square to visit. So I think after this one, we're good this year. We're just trying to, you know, figure out next year. We're gonna get started next year early, like this, probably December or January. We'll get started lining up some. I still need to have discussion with the commissioners, like how often they want to do this. Is this something they want to do every week, every other week, once a month? We're not quite sure on that. So, you know, with it being outdoors, the weather kind of, we don't know what the weather is going to, you know, be like. We've already had to cancel one because of the weather, and then reschedule this other one. So we just got to kind of take a look at how it went this year and then build on it for next year.
Harris feels lucky to have the Mr. Lincoln stage and the space to hold these concerts for the community. He asks the community to come out and support the groups who take time to perform, even if it is just for a few minutes.
But, you know, we're excited about it. Look at the Mr. Lincoln stage. I mean, we've got a beautiful place for it, you know, in this downtown. It's good. The one I spoke of here a few weeks ago was good to see people come out and stand around talking, having a good time. It was just good to see. So we're really excited about it. But next year, we're definitely going to grow on it. They can contact me, Tony Harris, at City Hall at 217-935-6552, or they can send me an email. They can search the website, the Clinton website, and find my email. Send me an email. Tell me they're interested, and we'll try to work them in. Both acts, local acts, more Nashville acts, or just the food vendors, as you mentioned. So we're eager to talk to them, and we'll try to get something lined up next year with them. Show your support, show up. If nothing else, like this one on Friday, it's I think it's like harder rock music, which is not really my kind of music, but that's all right. It might bring out the younger crowd, but even if it's not your type of music, just show up, support the food truck. We'll have the food truck set up on the west side over here. If nothing else, come up and visit the food truck and stay for a few minutes.
Go Stank this Friday starts at 7 p.m. Boogie Republic takes the stage at 7:30 on August 28th. And Owen Knapp will begin on September 5th at 7 p.m. Learn more about the upcoming concerts by finding the City of Clinton on Facebook. Law enforcement agencies across central Illinois are asking drivers to be aware as we transition to the back-to-school season. Monticello Police Chief Rob Ross explains that whether it's students getting ready for new bus routes and classrooms, or parents getting back into the swing of pickup and drop-off, this time of year always takes a little getting used to. He points out that snug-fitting helmets are a crucial thing for students who ride their bike to school.
Really, it's the safety of the kids. We know that a lot of the outlying school districts are starting. Cerro Gordo, BMet, their school starts tomorrow. Ours, we wane a week. So we aren't going to start ours until the 19th, but the first 3 days are just kind of helter-skelter. Kids are getting used to going to school. They're getting used to getting on maybe a new bus, a different route. Parents have had about 2.5, 3 months off from the normal hustle and bustle of getting kids to school, picking them up. So sometimes we're a little absent-minded. So obviously we want the kids to get there safe. So we do have quite a few kids that walk and bike to school. So obviously when we go with that, we want to make sure they're kept safe. So what we tell our bicyclists is obviously helmets. Get a really good fitting helmet. I was at Walmart actually last weekend, and there's a mom and dad picking out a helmet for their kid, and it was a little big, I think. Kid said it was a little big, and they said, oh, well, you'll probably grow into it. That's not what we should be doing. We need to get a helmet that fits snugly on the kiddo's head. That's how it works best. God forbid that the helmet actually gets used in an accident. So we want to make sure that they have a really good fitting helmet.
The chief urges parents to inform their bike riders of the rules of the road and emphasizes that we should never enter the roadway and expect vehicles to stop for us. He says the same goes for pedestrians.
On top of that, we really want to make sure that the kids on the bicycles know that you still have to obey the rules of the road. Stop at stop signs. Stay on the right side of the road. Make sure you're going with traffic. Don't go across it. Don't bank on, if you're crossing, like for us here in town, we have Market Street or 105 is kind of the main thoroughfare, or Washington is our east-west corridor. Don't bank on just going through an intersection and having cars stop for you. I've done this for almost 22 years now. I've never once seen an accident involving a bicycle where a bicyclist won the fight. So definitely, mind your P's and Q's. Stop at the stop signs. Make sure that you're just being safe around there. And same thing with the pedestrians. We have a lot of kids. Our schools are in residential areas, which is great. If they can, try to walk with another older sibling, or walk in a group if you can get a group together. Stay on the sidewalk where there is one. But if there's not a sidewalk, walk on the far left-hand side. That way you see a vehicle coming at you. The vehicle sees you. You can lock eyes and get around each other safely.
The department is making a point to discourage students from crossing the middle of a block rather than crossing the street using a crosswalk. He says crosswalks are where pedestrians are expected to be, and drivers should be most alert. Students in Monticello return on August 19th. Learn more about the Monticello Police Department by visiting their Facebook page. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com. That's DeWitt County's #1 source for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. Best of all, it's all free all the time, right at your fingertips. Once again, at DeWittDailyNews.com.
WHOW is your home for Clinton Maroon sports. Tune in all season long on 1520 AM, 92.3 FM, or stream the games live on the WHOW app. Go Maroons!
Spring brings brighter days and more time to enjoy them. Your home should too. At Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth, enjoy one-story living and walking paths right outside your door. Spend less time on upkeep and more time enjoying spring. To learn more, click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online 24 hours a day.
AgriTalk is the radio talk show for American agriculture. Hi, everybody. I'm Chip Flory, your host. We join you weekday mornings from 10 until 11 on WHOW, on AM and FM, and on the WHOW streams. We provide farmers and ranchers with timely insights and information aimed at improving their operations. Join me, Chip Flory, weekdays at 10:06 on Central Illinois Ag Station, WHOW.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Sal Stewart, Eugenio Suarez, and Tyler Stevenson homered, and the Cincinnati Reds held off the Chicago White Sox for a 9-8 victory on Thursday.
The White Sox played a wild, rain-soaked rubber game at Wright Field against Cincinnati on Thursday. Reds rookie Sal Stewart, the lightning rod in this one, hammering a homer in the first, and then forcing a Davis Martin ejection in the third after Stewart was plunked on the brim of his helmet. Stewart gave the Reds a lead in his next at-bat, and Tyler Stevenson launched a 3-run shot with Stewart aboard in the fourth.
Swinging a fly ball, well hit out into deep left center, and it's a 3-run homer for Tyler Stevenson.
The Sox chipped away in the rain, but ultimately came up 1 run short, 9-8. Showdown in Motown up next as the Sox begin a 3-game series with the second-place Tigers at Comerica this weekend. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 5 p.m. Friday night on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
The Sox kick off a weekend series with the Detroit Tigers tonight on WHOW. Pregame starts at 5 p.m. Cade Cavalli took a no-hitter into the 7th inning, and the Washington Nationals beat the Chicago Cubs 7-0 on Thursday to avoid a 3-game sweep. Michael Busch delivered the Cubs' lone hit with an opposite field bloop single to left with 2 outs in the 7th. The Nationals Park crowd then applauded Cavalli, who was trying to throw Washington's first no-hitter since Max Scherzer did it twice in 2015. Cavalli is 10-5, who turns 28 today, and retired the first 15 batters before walking Dansby Swanson to open the 6th. Swanson was quickly erased on Michael Conforto's double play grounder. Cavalli walked Swanson again with 2 outs in the 8th, but struck out Conforto looking to finish his day. The right-hander struck out 10 while setting career highs in innings with 8 and pitches with 103. Clayton Beeter worked a perfect 9th for Washington. The Nationals didn't muster a base runner against Kevin Gossman, who is 6-11, until Abimelec Ortiz's 1-out single in the 4th. 2 pitches later, Dylan Cruz laced an RBI double to left center. Washington's first two men in the fifth reached base before Andrew Pickney's sacrifice fly. After C.J. Abrams singled, Ortiz hit a 3-run shot to right center to make it 5-0. Dalen Lyle added an RBI single later in the inning to end Gausman's day. Ortiz had 4 homers in 11 games this season and hit .389, 7 for 18, with 3 homers and 7 RBIs during the Nationals' 6-game homestand. Gausman allowed 6 runs in 4 2/3 innings, while striking out 7 in his second start since joining the Cubs from Toronto at the trade deadline. Right-hander Clay Holmes is 4-5 with a 2.86 ERA and makes his second start as a Cub as Chicago returns home Friday to begin a 3-game series against St. Louis. Left-hander Andrew Alvarez is 2-3 with a 3.76 ERA and starts Friday as Washington opens its 3-game series at the New York Mets. In scores from around the MLB yesterday, the Detroit Tigers shut out the Cleveland Guardians 3-0, while the Pittsburgh Pirates routed the Miami Marlins 13-1. The Seattle Mariners beat the New York Yankees 1-0, while the Boston Red Sox blanked the Toronto Blue Jays 7-0. The Philadelphia Phillies took down the Minnesota Twins 7-1, while the Los Angeles Angels shut out the Texas Rangers 7-0. And the Milwaukee Brewers beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-4. Rookie Drew Aller threw for a pair of touchdowns and ran for another, and Will Howard directed a long-scoring drive of his own as the Steelers breezed past the Green Bay Packers 28-9 on Thursday night. Aller, a third-round pick from Penn State, was 10 of 13 for 154 yards, including a 5-yard touchdown pass to Caden Wetjen and a 4-yard flip to Riley Nakowski. The 22-year-old Aller also sprinted into the end zone for a 3-yard score as the Steelers made head coach Mike McCarthy's debut, leading his hometown team to a successful one. Howard, a 6th-round pick last year who hadn't played since leading Ohio State to the 2025 College Football Playoff Championship, was 7 of 9 passing for 86 yards and looked comfortable directing the 2-minute offense that ended with a 1-yard touchdown dive by Lou Nichols. The Steelers outgained Green Bay 385 yards to 160 and collected yardage in huge chunks at times on plays that had receivers running wide open against a vanilla defense more focused on fundamentals than elaborate schemes for a game that didn't count. Pittsburgh star Aaron Rodgers, who said this week he doesn't think he needs to play during his 22nd and final training camp, caught up with Love and other Green Bay players and staff and then watched from the sideline with a headset on as his last NFL team faced his first. The 42-year-old's spot atop the depth chart is secure. What happens behind him is anyone's guess as Howard, Aller, and veteran Mason Rudolph compete for the right to still have a job when rosters are trimmed to 53 on August 30th. Rudolph started and completed 10 of 11 passes for 93 yards and put together a long drive that ended with Steelers tight end Pat Freiermuth tackled at the Green Bay 1 on 4th down. Green Bay starter Jordan Love was 3 for 5 passing during one series of work while leading the Packers on an opening drive that ended with the first of rookie Trey Smack's 3 field goals. Love wasn't hit during his brief appearance, a welcome development after he injured his left non-throwing hand against the New York Jets during the preseason last year. The Packers have the Denver Broncos in Denver up next on August 21st, while the Steelers host the New York Jets on August 21st. The Chicago Bears have at least one viable site for a stadium in Northwest Indiana, and they are examining a second location as they move closer to finalizing a place for their new home. The Bears announced in June that they were moving forward with the stadium development project in Hammond, Indiana. They have completed their review of what they are calling the Lost Marsh site, and they are doing their due diligence on the Wolf Lake Terminal site. They could merge the two options together in some way. The Bears also had been considering Arlington Heights, about 30 miles northwest of Chicago, as a potential location for an enclosed stadium. Wherever they end up, a name change is off the table. The Bears' lease runs through 2033, but they can pay a fee to break the lease early. Soldier Field is about 40 miles south of Hallis Hall, the team's headquarters in Lake Forest, and Hammond is about 20 miles south of the team's lakefront stadium. The Bears ramped up their focus on Indiana after a proposal to provide financial incentives for the team to build its new home in Illinois stalled in the state legislature. A committee in the Indiana House of Representatives passed a bill in February that established a Northwest Indiana Stadium Authority to finance, construct, and lease a stadium. The Illinois Senate passed a bill that would have cleared the way for Arlington Heights and Chicago to create local stadium authorities, creating a pathway for the Bears to avoid paying property taxes on a new stadium. But the House adjourned without taking up the measure on the last day of the state's spring legislative session. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on how he works to save you money every day.
I watch the Decatur market very carefully. I stay under these,